have a memorable state, Hyderabad. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. At this momentous occasion, I'd like to invite President of Endocrine Society of India, Dr. Sanjay Badada, to say a few words.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, dignitaries on the dais. I am very happy to say that Dr. Santosh was my DM resident and today is organizing this conference. We can see that it's a huge response from the Endocrine Society of India and the Endocrine Society members. Even yesterday there is 600 participants were there at the pre-conference. It was a huge success for the conference. So I welcome you all for this academic feast. Such a beautiful weather, very nice venue, and the great academic feast. I welcome you all and enjoy this academic feast and make this event memorable. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Insightful indeed. As we stand on the cusp of this momentous event, let's take a moment to revel in the collective dream that made this moment possible. Inviting Dr. Sudhakar Rao sir, President, Endocrine Society of Telangana, to share his thoughts.
Dr. Nalini, dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, and all the endocrinists of the India, especially faculty members, international faculty, national faculty, and the endocrinists of the state. I, as a president of Endocrine Society of Telangana, we are hosting this conference. Her Excellency Governor will be inaugurating. You enjoy the conference. It is, Hyderabad biryani is known for it. You don't get a biryani anywhere, especially Hyderabad only. So you enjoy it. You enjoy the food and also the, mainly, especially all the delegates has to go through the scientific sessions, attend all the sessions, and definitely this will be going to be a very success. Thank you very much.
Her Excellency, Madam Governor is here and we will just wait for her arrival for a minute. Welcome, ma'am. At this point, I take a moment in welcoming Madam here, and let us proceed for lamp lighting ceremony. I invite Madam, Her Excellency Governor of Telangana, and to accompany her, Dr. Vipin Sethi, and the dignitaries for lamp lighting ceremony. scientific work of the society collectively improves and elevates the entire nation. To present the Secretary's annual report, and I invite Dr. KVS Harikumar, Secretary, Endocrine Society of India, and I would also request him to continue the proceedings for awarding fellowships.
Good evening, everybody. Greetings to the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. And Endocrine Society is one of the fastest growing society, and more than 50% of the toppers are taking the branch, so it's the importance of the specialty. Thank you, Honorable Governor, for sparing your time. May I request the Chief Guest to please give away the fellowships to senior members of our society. May I call upon Professor Shailendra Bhasin, first onto the dais, please. Professor Shailendra Bhasin is a professor at Harvard Medical School and a distinguished researcher, past member of the
chief guest, a medical leader turned political advocate who is uplifting our community. Dr. Tamilisai Soundararajan was born on 2nd June 1961 in Nagarkoil, Kanyakumari, and she took charge as Governor of Telangana on 8th of September 2019 and happens to be the first woman to hold this office. She has remarkable public and social service background. She started her career as a medical practitioner and she is the Governor of Telangana and Lieutenant Governor of Puducherry. Her personal contributions include a lot of literary contributions in the form of 7 books, 2 medical books and 2 books on literature and 2 books on Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji. And she has contributed to several articles and Tamil and English magazines. She is the official Tamil translator for all our national leaders' speeches and writer and content contributor with many literary organizations of social repute. Requesting Madam to say a few words.
Good evening, everybody. special good evening to each and everyone here. Dr. Hari Kumar, Dr. Sanjay Badada, Dr. Bibin Sethi, Dr. Sudhakar, Dr. Vijay Shekhar Reddy, Dr. Santosh, distinguished members of the Endocrine Society of India, esteemed guests, the fellow doctors, with great pleasure and honor that I stand before you today as the Governor of Telangana, extending a warm welcome to the Endocrine Society of India Conference 2023, hosted by the Endocrine Society of Telangana. I am really very happy to be here, not only as a governor, but as a doctor. And this is my 4th program today. And I have to rush to the airport. So my time allotted is very less, so only my ADC has given me the stopwatch. So I have to be very quick, but in spite of my busy schedule, tight schedule, I wanted to attend this program when the invitation was extended to me, because as a doctor, it's my duty to welcome all the national delegates who have come to Telangana, and please enjoy the tradition and cuisine of Telangana. And endocrinology, as we can say, endocrinology is a specialty which is each and every specialty, super specialist is dependable on. And it is very difficult to make the people aware of the endocrinological diseases. Because as a doctor I know, even my husband, who is a nephrologist, who says, it is very difficult for the doctor, consultant, to convey the message of the disease to the patient rather than a cardiac disease or neural disease, because the renal symptoms are very silent. So it's very difficult to convey the message of the disease to the patients. But as endocrinologists, it's much more difficult, because we don't know the symptoms, from which part of the organ, gland it comes. So when we say the patient ask, sir, which organ is affected? Then they will tell all the major organs. Then we used to tell, no major organ is affected, but there are some glands, small glands, and they tell, oh, there is no any major thing, huh? Then they will ask like that. And when we spot out the organ itself, because it is not the endocrinology, the patient should be aware of the disease pattern, but it is very difficult to take it to the rural people. As I said, because it is almost the endocrinologist, or as it is said by it's a growing specialty, and the urban population is little aware, and it is making them, the rural population, to make aware of the disease is very difficult. So the first success is making them aware of the endocrinal organs, glands, and about the disease pattern. And as it is said, we cannot have a typical disease pattern. When I was a student at Tanjore Medical College, I was one of the pioneers of nephrology, ultrasound. So when I told a patient, I have to study your prostate, so tomorrow you come with full urine. Next day, the person from a village came, opened a yellow bag, and put one Horlicks bottle of urine in front of my table. Second bottle of Horlicks bottle is full of urine. So I am not blaming them, but the awareness should be created, and the message should be conveyed to them, must be crystal clear. And even they will tell, because if they tell their kidneys are affected, then they will tell, no, my kidneys are not affected. Then they will tell, they spot scrotum of the kidney, when we have to explain. So why I am telling, these are the difficulties the medical professionals now facing, particularly endocrinologists. Because of the new specialty and because of the pattern of the disease, and mostly it is dependent on the lab tests. Clinical tests we cannot convey the patient, these are the symptoms you have with the endocrinology disease. So it makes us, it is little complicated for the physician, endocrinologist to convey the message and treat the patient. So the conferences like this not only enlighten the patients, but the practitioners should be aware of it. So first of all, we have to create awareness among the general practitioners about the endocrinology diseases. And the recent advancements, because of the advancement in the medical field, each and every day, the advancements are there in every field. So nowadays, before and all, we used to say, when we convey some message to the patient will say, okay doctor, I will follow it. But now the patients are telling, no, Google is not telling like that, doctor. You are telling like that. So before and all, we have to compete with the other consultants. But we have to compete with Google also. So we also have to learn what Google says. Because the patient all learn about that and come. So these all make the medical practice a great challenge. And particularly the endocrinology field, it is more challenging. And it is common, but particularly, for example, diabetes. Diabetes is an endocrine disease, but everyone will tell he is a diabetologist. So to differentiate them from them, so it has to be, patients should be aware. These are the experts managing the diabetology. And particularly to make them aware of the disease and making the patient to attend, it is very difficult. And when we convey the message to the patient should accept, the patient should follow up, and the patient's relatives should follow up, because it is very difficult to convince the patient and convince the relatives also. In a lighter sense, I used to say, when we were students of Tanjore Medical College, the patient will be admitted in the ICU. The patient will be surrounded by the relatives. So we used to tell our chief, sir, we are unable to get rid of these patients. So my chief used to tell, you go and tell the patients, to the relative, this patient needs 2 to 3 bottles of blood. Closest relative should give blood. Then you come away. So we used to go and tell that when we come away, the patient will be lying alone. All the relatives will run away. So these relatives, when they want it, because my husband always used to say, it is very difficult to convince the patient, it is more difficult to convince the relatives. They will tell, I am the uncle, you tell me what he is suffering from. And then he will tell, no, I am the aunt, tell me what he is suffering from. So now the medical practice has been a very challenging specialty, particularly endocrinology, because when we spot out the organ itself, patient won't accept. But when we cannot, when we have to explain, because it's not common man cannot, layman cannot understand our medical structures and the hormone pattern which we are dealing. But I salute the endocrinologists because of their research activities and advancement. Now, the medical treatment itself, the scenario itself changed. If the patient is obese also have come to you, the patient is thin also have to come to you. So you are the specialists who make them fit. Whether they are obese, they want to reduce their weight, and when they are thin, they want to increase their weight. So you are always associated with the life pattern of the patients. At the same time, as an administrator, I have to tell more research activities will enhance the patient treatment. At the same time, this awareness to be created to the general practitioners as well as to the patients, and more simple articles should be published about endocrinology, particularly diabetes, and the diabetes should be dealt by the endocrinologist and should be conveyed in simple language to the people. Whatever may be the advancement in the medical field, ultimately, the poorest and poorest should be benefited. It should not be only research oriented. It should not be only tertiary care oriented. It should not be only urban oriented. So unless the endocrinology awareness, treatment reaches the PHC level, reaches the distant level, we cannot enjoy our advancements. So as an administrator, I want more endocrinologists because it's a rare specialty, I know, and you're associated with all the specialties. But as an organization, you can plan little more things so that more and more endocrinologists come up and they serve the rural people as well as they are more in research activities. At the same time, my request, whenever I attend a medical conference, one request I put forward, one appeal I put forward. Doctors, please look after your health also. Because most of the time I have asked, they will be busy in asking the blood pressure of the patient, but they would have monitored their blood pressure. Diabetes, most of the time we will be advising them about the diabetes status. But whether we would have checked our blood glucose level, really, if we introspect, really it is questionable. So my respect is do yoga, do meditation, because of you have learned this specialty with great difficulty. And we have to be hale and healthy to treat the patient. So in a medical conference, it will be silly to tell that, but as a doctor in administration, I have to tell, please look after your health. So only you can look after the other people's health. So my main request is create awareness about endocrine disease to the common man as well as the practitioners. Thank you so much.
That was magnificent, madam. Inviting Dr. Vipin Sethi, Dr. Sanjay Badada, Dr. K.D. Modi, Dr. P.K. Jabbar, Dr. Rakesh Sahai, and Dr. Sanjay Kalra to felicitate Honorable Governor, madam, and to join for group photo.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Dr. Santosh to give his vote of thanks.
So it's my duty to give the vote of thanks. So I have a fear of missing out people's names, so I'm going to use only organizations. I thank all the office bearers of the Endocrine Society of India for giving me this opportunity to host the Endocrine Society of India conference in Hyderabad, and our entire Endocrine Society of Telangana group, which has supported us at all times logistically to help to organize this conference on such a grand scale. CEFIS is a part of our organization group today this time. So I thank all the members from CEFIS as well for making this a grand success. The organizing committee of ESICON and the organizing committee of CEFIS has worked day and night, and I know how many WhatsApp messages come to me each day, each night, while organizing this conference. I have made at least 300 to 400 new friends in the process. The event managers, I can't thank them any less. It's Video Technologies and Page 3 who have managed this event to a grand scale. I thank all of them. Of course, all the endocrinologists, the endocrinology fraternity of India and the world, we have to thank, because if it was not for the endocrinology fraternity, we won't be having this conference at all. We have our pharma colleagues also who have helped us quite a bit. I think they also deserve an applause. I'm sorry for being moody with them sometimes. And as all organizing secretaries will say, the people who have supported them the maximum is who? It's the spouse, it's the daughter, it's my mother. So everybody, I wish to thank them also for helping me organizing this conference. Thank you. Thanks all.
Thank you very much. That's all from the inauguration ceremony. I'd like to hand over the dais to the Endocrine Society of Telangana for the Devo Bhava initiative. Take a small pause to rearrange the stage.
Hall is on the way. Kindly be seated. We want all the people assembled outside, please come inside for the Guru Devo Bhava program. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Now we start the Guru Devo Bhava session, and I'm sure you all would agree that teachers and mentors have a special place in our lives. And this initiative is taken by the Endocrine Society of Telangana to express our gratitude to these ladies. And it's all about teachers one by one. In the interest of time, like, come one by one onto the stage. As I call upon the come on the dais, please give me a big round of applause. Dr. Ms. Sesha, come on to the dais. Dr. R.E. Jaykumar, sir, come on to the dais. Dr. Sudhakar Rao,
So the importance of Guru in our life we know, and you all agree with me that our teachers have played an important role in our lives to reach the current position and status. So is the case with anyone. So Guru ESICON tradition is a unique feature of our Indian culture, and Guru position is placed above the God, as exemplified in a Kabir's Doha. Guru Govind दो खड़े काके लागू पाए बलिहारी Guru आपकी गोविंद दियो बताए. Kabir says, if the God and Guru stands in front of me, I bow to Guru first, followed by God. That means Guru is the person who shows the way to the God. So that is the importance of Guru. And teachers guide us towards becoming the best version of ourselves, and their invaluable guidance with their experience and wisdom will enable us to make the right decision in our lives. So Guru is like our GPS, like it will help us to know to go to the unknown places safely and correctly to reach our goal and destination safely. So having said that, so Endocrine Society of Telangana is very much delighted and takes pride in acknowledging and honoring the teachers for their invaluable contribution in mentoring the endocrinologists of India. Thank you. Now I request Dr. Sridevi to proceed with the further proceedings.
So, as is the norm, we'll start this session with the lighting of lamp. Now, I'd like to request the dignitaries and my beloved teachers and Srimati Saina Nehwal Madam and members of Endocrine Society of Telangana, Dr. Bipin Sethi Sir, Rakesh Sir, and K.D. Modi Sir, Vijay Shekhar Reddy Sir, and Neelavani Madam, and Organizing Secretary Dr. Santosh to join the dignitaries on the dais to light up the lamp. Thank you. So now we'll move on to the main part of the program, Guru Devo Bhava, where we'll be felicitating our beloved teachers who worked relentlessly in this field of endocrinology. So we'll start with Dr. Padma Menon Garu, and we'll give a short introduction
to start the felicitation program, first is Dr. Padma Menon Madam. So I would request her to come forward and for the felicitation. So I will be reading out the CV. Dr. Padma Menon Madam is a visionary endocrinologist from Mumbai. She has contributed significantly to the field of endocrinology, emphasizing on holistic care. She did her MD in medicine from BLY Nair and TN Medical College, where after her MD she started the diabetes services at Nair Hospital in 1973. Later she was the professor of medicine in charge of the endocrine services in Nair Hospital, Mumbai. She has over 3 decades of teaching the undergraduate students and over a decade of teaching the postgraduate students. She was professor and head of Department of Endocrinology at GS Medical College and AM Hospital, Mumbai, where she has spent her DM endorsements for over a decade. Apart from her teaching experience, she has been a principal